but we'll jump right back into the game. Whether you're joining me on my stream or here with Loam, it should work out from here on out. Yeah, and please do let me know if there's any other audio issues. This was not an issue last night, so I'm a little surprised, but we'll figure it out. All right, Weapons 3 already started. That's pretty interesting. We got a pretty, I guess we're late into the match already at 16 minutes, but how have we been doing? Pulling up the RT graph. Unfortunately, I just joined the server, so it doesn't have that log for me. How have our teams been performing? Duddy is doing the reverse, almost taking out 4 aliens there. Yeah, I think they're maybe trying to focus on getting this gate up as quickly as possible. Maybe they thought they could reclaim a shotgun that was already on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far. This time the gate will go up. They have Geralt on the back line. The Marines are finally established in this dome neck position. Let's see if they can make anything happen. They're in a pretty tight position right now, trying to recap with 1 player behind and 1 player on gates, but now there's another wipe. Ooh, Geralt able to take the lurk down to 1 HP. This gate is going to be able to stay for a little bit longer. Knifey also going down. Manticore finally clutching that kill. That was an excellent moment for the Marine team. A glimmer of hope for the point where they are. Just a little bit more. Maybe there's a little lag experience for Knifey in that one. He doesn't feel like he should have died there. But the game is tightly contested at this 1 gate here in Dome. Yeah, Alien Commander doing a really good job at finding the moments, push his sys chain out, and not, and really taking advantage of their map control at the moment. But Marines are feeling relatively well established. They've pushed the life ones off, with getting them down to low health, and they're able to try to take care of their back res. There are some skulks leaking though, so this is not a safe position to put any pressure on. They're down economically, so they have to hold on to this back res for just a little bit longer before they're able to make any action. Duddy really performing right now. That's another alert kill we got to see from first person. Really excellent to have Duddy playing at the top of his game. It might be nice for him once to be on a Euro server. I'm not sure if that makes a huge ping difference where he is, but I think it ought to have some performance enhancement for this player. And Duddy's just like a generally strong player. Dome now in a lot of trouble. Manticore going to see if he can't push these life forms off. Yeah, opting to shoot the fade at that point when you're trying to defend a gate, it's sometimes better to actually focus the skulks. They're doing the majority of the damage if the other life form is a fade. Fades do low damage to structures, so it might have been better to... It's a serious uphill battle right now. but the Marines do have one position in double or in nano grid, which is fairly defensible because it's their only gate. When you only have one foothold in the map, you're coming through right there. So they're gonna have this one toehold to stick in the map, and let's see if they're able to claw back into this event. Yeah. Manticore, we're taking his point of view, but there's a fight happening just around the corner. 2 Marines go down to a pack of aliens, another shotgun being thrown away. But we have Marines right around the corner, maybe they can reclaim it. Lifeforms have been pushed out for the time being. Zepar on his own, 2 shotgunners, he definitely shouldn't go in there, but he can spore from the end of the corridor and just be fine. Making the commander waste res on medding his team. Both teams on a healthy 5 RTs though, so. Yeah, even with meds on the gate, there's just almost no way you get through without getting completely chopped up. Finally, they do try to come through as there's just 2 more bites on this gate and it goes down. That is might end with a GG call, but we'll see if the Marines can hold on to it. Melee makes sense, but the Marines do end up falling with nothing left on the map. Well, they got one more volley of shotgun Marines. If they can utilize this to kill a lifeform, again, that gate, there's a very safe option of getting this gate at the end of the hallway in topographical. There's a reason why so many people opt for it. If they're trying to parlay this into an arc push, it might be too slow. I mean, it's definitely going to be too slow to hold on to the rest of the map. But, you know, yeah, so lifeform kills from the Marine team. Everybody's holding on to their shotguns for the time being. The gate is open a little bit right now. The Marines are split. If they can just make it back to this gate, maybe they can hold on to it. Those lifeforms are not full life. If they can just get there in time, but it's not going to be the case. There's PvE being pushed up by the alien commander, and the alien squad is fully coordinated now. One skull gonna really put on the pressure. Meds needing to come down, not enough RT, not enough res income for gate behind this, and the pressure is dire in this moment. Finally, gate being dropped. Absolutely. Yeah. It can feel annoying not to be putting the pressure on when you have a lifeform right around the corner, but just holding that space is enough when you have a huge economic advantage. There's 6 res nodes to 2. The aliens are just swimming in res. The commander can do whatever he wants. It's time for PvE just to spring up all over the map, as it's starting to do here in Nanogrid and East Junction. Some trades back and forth. Yeah, the domination for the Alien Squad is pretty profound right now. Even though that's the case, the Marines have been able to hold onto this last volley of shotguns for so long that they're getting a ton of value out of it. Tough round in the middle there, but I missed the middle of the game there, so it was hard for me to kind of trace the where the kind of failure in the Marine strategy resulted um, in a dominant position for the aliens. But Troy really showing up. Troy's one of those players that's been on the fringe of competitive play for a long time, plays a lot of TD, but is sort of new to the gather experience. And man, oh man, his accuracy and player damage, leading his team actually. Nice. Yeah, yeah. Sorry again for the technical issues. Yeah, there were a couple of settings with the new headset that I have that were getting in the way of what was normally should have been an easy production. Um, so yeah, my apologies for the viewing experience lapse, but we are back online. I think everybody should be happy. Again, this is a time you can reach out and ask us if there's any issues with your volume or anything that I could be doing better. Please do reach out. We have a brief moment before this round continues, and we'll see if the Alien Squad now will be able to perform. Yeah, let's look at the tail of the tape again. Duddy really showing up for his team, 30% accuracy. Datsu also at a high 30% accuracy. The top three players on their team really performing like you would want them to from a numbers point of view. But yeah, I don't know. I missed some of the mid game there. If you have any thoughts about what happened for this Marine side this last round, um, I'd love to hear about it. Okay. Lum, did I lose you, brother? Okay, cool. No worries, no worries, no worries. Yeah. Yeah, so people hopefully are shuffling back into the NSL TV channel. Uh, I guess there's a 3-minute delay, so that's just about to start happening. Welcome back to the NSL TV channel. If there's any issues with sound or audio, please let us know. I think it should be all resolved at this point. And we're heading into a game around number 2 in this game 1 for Group A. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it was pretty dominant showing from them last game, but I think both teams have a lot of opportunities here. Duddy was really performing well, and he's a really strong fade player. If they can get to that mid to late game where he can go fade, I feel like it's definitely going to be hard to contend with. We played a nice mix with Wraith's team the other night, so hopefully they're feeling like they're gelling. Their performance last round was really great. Um, so, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for giving me the context for that last round. I sort of missed the middle of the game because I was dealing with the sound issues, but I think that is super, like that is a focus that I think it's right to point on. I mean, when you're pushing a hive, there's always a huge risk that it doesn't yield positive results. I'm always curious what goes into the decision of usually killing a life form or two. Um, yeah, Yeah, and I think that kind of map dynamic is definitely inherited from its structure, which is from NS1, where that was a specific focus, was to try to prevent this evolution of the alien squad when they get 3 hives. Of course, the games are very different in the way they play out, but it's still very much the case for this map. No thanks. Um, Yeah, just the if you can control nanogrid, you can force the aliens to have to reach out to their naturals that are exposed on the wings of this map. It puts them in a vulnerable position. So, like you were saying, if you can at least prevent them from holding on to 3 hives, and you're holding the center of the map, I mean, it's just a uh, a a matter of time at that point of constricting the ability to create and generate resources and slowly strangling your opposing team. Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think cargo is one of those hives that is actually really a lot of space to move around. When you're pushing with shotguns and you're fighting against lurks, taking up that space, being able to fly far away from the Marines and get good angles at spiking them as they're entering that room can be really effective. I didn't see that part of the game, but it's God damn it. What the hell? Yeah, it's not coming through. I have no idea why. What did I do to fix that? Oh. Sorry, guys. I was up until 4 in the morning last night, so my brain is absolutely blasted. I'm happy to do the play-by-play, and I'm going to work on getting Loam's volume up, but I need to focus in on this game in just a moment. So let me figure that out just as soon as I can. Let me see what the hell did I do to make that work. Okay. Sorry about that. Um, Loam's gonna let me know when the game starts, so we won't be missing any action here, guys. I am just trying to figure out what exactly I did to make that work in just one moment. Um, I think what I did was go here to my settings inside Discord and switch it to fix the audio. Yeah, that's what I did. Okay, so change it to this and change it to that. Okay. Loam, can you give me a count?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
One,
got you
two,
back. All
three.
right, brother. This is
Make
finally
sure,
fixed.
make
I
sure
need.
go in game and see if you can still hear in game too, because that's
Yeah.
what happened last time.
Okay, I'm gonna turn you down a little bit. Yeah, we're hearing everything now. Talk to me a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah. So kind of what I was saying about last round is that I was kind of walking Ozil through what happened when he tabbed out, but basically that there's a really failed push into cargo that cost the Marines. They kind of they were thinking there's no fades on the field. They only have lurks. We're up. We have our shotguns. We're gonna push this side. We're gonna win on this play. And they pushed and they got completely cleared. They kind of got split. They had they walked in and they were dealing with lurks. Um, they were spiking them from a distance. They got bone wall separated, and as a result, and then Troy's able to, have a really good play of the game where he clears. I think it was Datsu and Zepar. No, Manticore with his shotgun. So they lose all shotguns. They lose their phase gate, and if you look at the res graph, the around like the 12-minute mark. Marines are sitting on 7 RTs against 3 RTs. So anytime that like mid game, if you're holding that much of an advantage, there's really no reason the Marines should lose that round. But they gambled and didn't pay off.
Yeah. And we're talking about, especially on Vale, that has this sort of slower economy thing going on. When you're holding onto a lot of res, you're in a huge advantage. And if you can just put the stranglehold on and slowly squeeze out the life from the other team, that's going to be a lot of safer way of doing it. As if you're holding on to nanogrid and you're preventing a third hive, you're in this perfect position to stop the evolution of the upgrade path for the other team. And that's what we saw. Oh, that's not what we saw. In fact, they ended up making that push, which changed the.
And one of the things that I was seeing too is that a lot of the times the Marines were like double pressuring down them to pipe to clear RTs when they really didn't need to. They needed to hold their res lane. You can afford to give them pipe. You can just send one person, or you send one person down to overlook to deny that left side res. But when you have such a res advantage, and when you're have the life form advantage too, there's no reason for you to gamble it on a hive push. I mean, looks like we're gonna go live here, so hopefully everything is set and ready to go.
Yeah, well, at least from
know.
my perspective, looking into OBS, I think we're all set. People will let us know in just a moment, but I think everything should be working fine, and we're about to go on to the game. Got one more pause from our team. Let's just see what they need. Just a couple more minutes, and the game will get started. But yeah, happy to see like where this game goes, and if Duddy's team can kind of stabilize a little bit, make sure they perform their best. Like you were saying, they were in a position to really crush that last game. So it'd be nice to see both these teams respecting their own skill and having a performance that shows up on the scoreboard. So hopefully, or not, no favorites being picked here. But yeah, it'd be nice to see Duddy continue on to the next phase.
All right, we are actually going live this time.
Sweet. Game is getting started, boys and girls.
Runder Vinkia. Is that how you pronounce his name? Alien Commander?
I actually do not know. That sounds about as close as I would get.
So he's kind of unfamiliar to comp as far as I know, so we want to see what kind of the strat he has to start off. He has not sisted yet.
Interesting split from this Marine team. Unusual. Let's see if they push immediately into nanogrid. That's usually what you would see if you have 4 people pushing into topographical. If this gets scouted out, they will know Knifey is very light on his side. This is a interesting position from the Marine team, but they haven't.
I'll point out real quick, the Alien's comm went no drifter, and he also went shift hive. We'll see what he is planning to do here. Maybe he's going for quick upgrades so that he doesn't have to use the drifter.
Yeah, it's interesting to see both of these teams doing something a little unconventional in the start of this round.
We're going to have a lot of pressure straight to Nano at the start here. I can see it now. Only 2 aliens in position to help defend.
And the comm is out of the chair right now. Fish and Manticore looking for a way into the Marine base. They know that nobody is in the base for the Marines right now. If they can just get in there, maybe they're not.
Look, there's a Marine coming through the tunnel to Nano right now. He's going to go into Geralt. Hopefully he doesn't get picked here. Wraith kind of missing his shots.
Ooh.
Wraith is going to follow him into the tunnel.
Almost. A little bit of performance anxiety from Wraith, unable to get that Gorge kill. But the pressure is on the alien squad. The Marines are not going to be capping, but the pressure is sufficient enough to make sure that the alien team is not doing that either. And those early upgrades are already dropped. At least one of them.
A mistake here from the aliens is that they just came through without any information, knowing that there's Marines in Nano already. They don't wait for the Marines to start emptying onto the tunnel for some reason. They've not assisted into cargo, and we have Knifey pressuring, so he's gonna make them spawn eggs by doing that. The tunnel is now down.
Yeah, we're in a situation where they might have to look for something like a base rush. There's still a chance to hold on to these RTs, but there's a lot of economic hurt coming on from this alien team. Just not being at the res that you would want to be at this point. Geralt needs to be healing on top of that RT. I don't know what he's doing right now. He's going to lose it if he doesn't start healing right there. He was trying to fuss around with the Gorge Tunnel. I think he's not as used to it because this is a comp-only feature at the moment.
Fortunately for Marines or for the aliens, they don't lose the RTs, and the Marines are actually still on 3 RTs themselves because they have been pressured so hard. So it's actually kind of a reset here. I mean, I would imagine upgrades start getting dropped. Yeah, we just saw Tom drop his first or second spur there, and he is now assisting in the cargo. So it's kind of a reset here.
Fish probing the Marine lines, trying to find a way through to topographical. It's pretty funny though because there are 4 Marines on that side of the map, but he's still like very, yeah, it's a good intuition to try to do this. Lots of parasites out, so this is full information for the alien team. Manticore coming into 2 Marines, 3 Marines still alive. Manticore going back in. That's a really risky position that he just put himself in. Geralt has to be in that tunnel already. These RTs are
3 lurks. They will lose the RT. They have not actually dropped cargo. It should be dropped pretty shortly if Commander is able to see it.
Whoa.
Risk. Just getting stuck on the wall. Couldn't finish off the Marine at a corner.
You know, the RTs were getting pressured right there, but they had 3 lurks, and they didn't wait until they were all grouped. Kind of came into the room piecemeal. One of the lurks got blasted and immediately had to hide in the rafters, losing 1 lurk, and then yeah, just making it more difficult than it needed to be.
And I'll say, like, so the Marines like pressuring the Nano, and they do get the Harvester, but you know they're spending so much time pressuring that they're not actually capping RTs. So, you know, they capped C12, but they could have capped C12 at Puckland. It's been more safe right now, but they're choosing to keep up this pressure. And they are to get a lurk out of it, so in the end, it's worth it what they do. But they could be in a much better position if they weren't so heavily pressuring.
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting move to have 4 people on one side at the beginning of the map. The commander did jump out and join a Marine and Skylights. This is something that is a feasible strategy from the Marine team, but it's not. But something I haven't seen in addition to that move is that you can immediately, if you have 4 people on one side, push 2 people directly into nanogrid. They're able to put on pressure either way, but yeah, that strategy gives you some options to fork into pressure for the Marine side.
Zex's gonna have to do some work here in cargo. He needs to get 1 pick here, or else the Hive is in danger of dying.
Yeah, he's gonna find his Gorge buddy, get a couple of heals, and hopefully go back in.
Manticore should really slow up before he enters here, but he should be able to clear this. And pressure is going to be put on the Nano right now. None of the RTs, although Separ is not going to do too much damage. He will go for the tunnel to start, which will cause these lurks to rotate back up.
Clean kill from Manticore onto Lord Teabaggins, and Zepar gets cleared as well.
But once again, so we're just completely leaving Pipe untouched by both teams. I really think the Marines should have been capping that already. If they're not going for Overlook, they need to be going for that other RT, because they can just keep clearing C12 over and over again. It's already pretty low. Oh, and I missed where Zex died.
Yeah, I did as well. Unfortunately, it was definitely on the left side of the map. I think the both lurks were in the same room when he died, so maybe just a misplay from him. Only one lurk remaining after a 3 lurk pressure. A lot has to be on Duddy's shoulders as he approaches Fade Res. He's an incredibly strong Fade player, but will he be able to put his team on his back? Duddy
The pressure's coming again to Nano. They need to defend us. And Manticore is our only life form at this point.
Yeah, I almost... Oh, wow. A little miscommunication from the alien commander trying to drop a bone wall, but kind of getting in the way of his own player. One Marine going down. Duddy almost taking a second. Fish trickling in after all, but everybody's reloaded, and no more remaining life forms are there for the alien squad. This Gorge sort of also marooned on the wrong side of the field.
Duddy will get his Fade res right now, so he will go, I believe, Fade at this moment. Yeah, he is going Fade.
Yep. And this could be a big moment for the alien team where the balance of power can shift. There are these key moments when life forms.
Manticore's gotta be careful. He's almost gonna get picked.
Woohoo! Yeah, almost. Good positioning from Lord Baggins to almost catch that lurk there. Unfortunately, wasn't able to clutch the kill, but Marine's feeling in a pretty good position as Duddy gets his first kill on a.
At this point, the Marine alien commander needs to be looking for Overlook to be capping right now with all the Marines that are pressuring the Nano.
Yeah,
and possibly assisting into pipe as well.
Yep. It could seem expensive to assist all the way down there. Duddy spreading competition at the moment. A good wipe from this alien squad.
And did you see Duddy dodging there? So he's sitting, he's literally crouched behind this little cart and Nano, and then he goes and crouches behind the little platform, so he doesn't get picked there. But I thought for a minute he was gonna die by crouching there.
Yeah, Duddy has a lot of experience playing Fade, and it's going to be fun to watch him. Hopefully they get to stretch this game out into the late game now that they have some life forms up on the field. It's time again for the commander to be assisting to the extremities as well. There's such a focus on Nano right now, or possibly this node in Overlook has not had a Marine visit that location in such a long time. If only they had taken advantage of that space that they had created by the focus on nanogrid, then maybe the alien team would be in a stronger position. Looking at the upgrade path, we have 2-2 and shotguns, while only one Fade is on the field. It feels pretty good to be at that position now that those upgrades are finished to fight a Fade. We want to see a few shotguns come out on the field as phase tech is established. Another gate here in East Junction. What do you think about East Junction versus the end of the Tapa hallway?
Either one's fine. I feel like Topo gate is more for if you are behind and you are trying to just like have a safe gate, but these guys can pressure right off of it. They don't have the base gate is the thing. They don't have the okay. They just dropped it, so they can't pressure just yet, and it comes out. So they could get some really good chip damage right now if they chose to. They know that this is gonna be a big fight in about like 5 seconds.
Yeah, Alien's not with complete game knowledge like we have, so they didn't realize the combat out of the chair. Duddy testing the waters, but he really needs the rest of his team here to be able to do this. There's some low Marines in the back of the field. Maybe he can come in and slice and dice. He does pick one. Just slowly taking away Marines off the field is incredibly important for this Fade player. The gate is being hit by the rest of the team as Marines rotate back towards it. Manticore needs to be careful. He's on the ground and as a Lord player. It could be dangerous to do that, but meanwhile, that gives the space to clear nanogrid. But the Fade does have to retreat.
So we have to give Duddy some credit there, being patient and waiting and like splitting that one Marine, the last one, to get the pick early on that fight. Also, credit to Geralt for keeping his Gorge around this long. He's been pretty crucial to be able to come into these fights and heal up things. Yeah,
Duddy with a little bit of a suspect popping out from that tunnel. Maybe he didn't realize there were 3 Marines already in the room, but doesn't get punished too badly. Duddy now in, looking for the back line, looking for this gate. Gonna help hold the hand of this lurk as they go for the gate. Ooh, both lurk players going low, and Duddy himself a little bit pressured. They're gonna go hard on
This is
meds.
actually now. It's going to be extremely hard for Marines to pressure because they're on 2 RTs right now, and the meds are not going to be coming as readily. The scans are not going to be coming as readily right here. So they have to be careful about losing control of the East Junction gate right here. However, it's just Duddy because the lurks have to go back and heal. Duddy's got to be careful.
Ooh, this lurk also taking a risk by jumping in on those 2 Marines. Marines are finally feeling established in nanogrid, but they've lost pretty much everything else. Now it's only 2 RTs to the Marine on both sides, so low econ moment for both teams. Holding on to these life forms and these guns is going to be very important.
And again, the alien command has to be more aggressive for assisting. They need to be taking captain overlook on these pushes. They need to be assisting into pipe to cap that. They'd be in much better shape if that's happening right now. We have 3 lurks now. Oh, his XM was going down. It was almost 2 lurks.
Yeah, well, they're able to keep the lurks alive, and the Fade is still playing around on the field. Finally, the alien commander has taken advantage of the positioning to hold on to build into, assisting into the extremities of the map. Overlook and Pipe finally getting assisted. But the Marines as well, starting to stretch out of the bottleneck that they've been squished into and push into C12 and eventually into Pipeline.
Okay, so finally Overlook assisted so that it can be capped. Marines aren't even bothering with Nano, they're just trying to establish hold consistently 3 RTs. 4 RTs now because Teabaggin's able to push Manticore off of Skylights.
2-man pressure into Pipeline, trying to deny this 3rd hive before there's a chance for it to go up. Fish dying to Knifey. Knifey shooting him with a shotgun just as we jumped into his position. Apparently, you caught him crouching around the corner.
Yeah, he was doing it. Smart play.
Yeah, always smart. People tease and give a little bit of bad manners for people playing the game in a smart way, but it's definitely intelligent. Zex, almost going down. Really lucky that Knifey wasn't able to connect one last time. Pistol shots coming down, ringing down that hallway as well, but he gets out and is able to retreat to the hive to get some heals.
So you can kind of see the alien commander's lack of experience in competitive with the way he's assisting. So you look at Nanogrid, the assists are kind of oblongly placed. In Overlook, he could have capped that much earlier and have assists that reach the RT in a different way using the height.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's getting the hang of it, but he's just generally been slow. The nanogrid has been assisted for, a minute already. No drifter in sight, no RTs being built. He seems pretty resistant to using drifters in general. Been pretty shy.
Gate is now dropped in C12 neck area, and the hive is also down there. So instead of capping, he's going for the 3 hives, which, on 3 RTs, you really, I think you want to play the res game on this map, but 3 hives is pretty strong on this map as well.
Yeah.
But you're not going to have the res to get the upgrades that you're trying to get from having 3 hives. And they're going to send 4 Marines at this. There's no maturity on the side. It's not even fully built. So it's just kind of throwing away. And Duddy just gets destroyed.
Absolutely blasted. That's too bad for the alien team. I almost feel like they should just have sacked this hive right away when they saw that 4-man pressure and go for the Marine backline. Marines are very far away from gates. Oh, why do you leave Manticore? I guess he got a little bit shy, a little bit scared. They're going to lose a life form and the hive. This is a pretty difficult situation for this alien team. And finally, those RTs are being dropped when the Marines can actually focus on nanogrid. And yeah, just again, slow from this alien commander. It's unfortunate to see. I know he's trying his best, but yeah, just a little bit more experience, a little bit more awareness would have really yielded his team a lot of points. Now, yeah,
and just again, Overlook is not sisted at this point. Nano's not sisted, or Nano's been sisted, but none of the RTs were capped. I think it was a big mistake going for that pipe hive when you really need to play the res game. That being said, I mean, the game's not over. Geralt is close to Fade res if he decides to. And Marines aren't really teching up. I mean, there's still only 3 RTs. Overlook is now being sisted. They're capping Nano, so aliens might go up temporarily to 5 RTs.
Yeah, it's important to remember sometimes that this, at the heart of the game, is a strategy game, and economy is so important to being able to secure a victory when you're in the lead. Both teams sort of focusing on pressuring and fighting more than they are focused on building their economy and making sure they stay stable. Go most likely going down, does finally get finished. Another victory for the Alien Squad.
And this is what needed to happen, 5 minutes ago. The Alien being more aggressive, assisting on the left side. They are going to lose Nanogrid. However, Marines have already capped all of the right side. They have them established their map control at this point. So the reses and the upgrades are going to start flowing for them again.
Ooh, wow, very risky from this Lurk player. Knifey almost taking him out, chasing him down, trying to find it. Whoa, spawning right beneath him. Marines taking control of this alien hive position, making sure the eggs are non-existent, holding on to a lot of pressure right now. Will the aliens be able to respond, put on pressure on the back line? They're losing a lot of their upgrades at the moment. These guys are stuck in like a
Manticore is going to have to do a crazy amount of work here. He's the only life form. He's coming back with his spikes, versing 3 shotgunners. He's just got to stay high in the air, avoid these shotgunners, get some rest stick or the regen.
Yeah, and the alien commander not buying eggs in this room. I heard the audio cues for buying eggs, but maybe they just don't have enough res coming in.
This will be GG. This will be GG. No life forms. No aliens are alive at this point. 4 shotguns in that hive.
Strong Marine pressure. This game really paying off.
Why are you taking the tunnel? Please, kill the hive.
This hive will go down. Aliens holding on to this game for a little bit longer, but it's looking pretty desperate for their situation.
They are going to take the tunnel, and I don't think the alien comm is going to be able to counter that in time.
Oh no, with 2 life forms being upgraded, the one lurk does finish. I guess the scan didn't identify that those lurks were coming up. Losing 2 shotguns. It's a nice, small bright spot for this alien squad.
Oh, Teabaggin's going to run into a lurk. Your Manticore phase comes through the tunnel. You take a big meat shot. Oh. So does Risk. And Risk goes down.
Yeah, not able to quite land one of those bites in the middle there. There were a couple of missed ones, unfortunately leading to his death. Also, it's good to soak damage and then retreat, but if your player is hard committing and has already kind of taken aggro from the Marine player, at least turn around and give him some spikes to help him out. Duddy gonna go down, tunnel gonna go down, and that's probably gonna be the final GG call. Another round of eggs being bought for this alien squad as they're trying to get back out on the field. 2 more lurks coming up.
Duddy is also going lurk, and so they're going to have Geralt. I don't know if he's going to save for Anonos. I don't think that's going to happen on 1 RT, so he just needs to go fade here. It looks like he's thinking about it right now, but this Marine's right outside. They're going for the base rush.
Full commit, but Manticore is way ahead of the rest of the squad. Be good to just skip.
And Slammy is in Skylight, so that's going to cancel out this attempt to push.
But look how far away people are, that beacon having to come through. Wraith jumping out of the chair, not always the smartest thing to do, but the beacon does come in. This is a hard commit from the alien squad, and lots of Marines dying. This is actually a huge moment right now. Zek's coming back in the room. Unfortunately, it's a little bit late for him to do so. If he had been...
Get him, Zex. Ah, full commit. You got a full sender right there.
Yeah, he needed to believe, man. It was a all or nothing moment, and if he had stayed in the room that entire time, maybe there was a world where that would have yielded an alien victory. But man, it would have been close. Duddy again, top of his team, highest accuracy and player damage. I want to look quickly at his at the roster. One moment as I open that. Let's see. Who did I saddle with Duddy? So Leviathan wasn't able to play today, as far as I was able to tell. That's one very strong player, a tier 7, that is supposed to be part of this roster. Hopefully, when they play later in the day or tomorrow, they have that third tier 7 player available. I've been pretty open with people's. Uh,
Can someone in chat explain? I was looking at leaderboards yesterday. How is Leviathan number 3 with 6k elo? What did he do? With
this
a
isn't comp elo, is it?
no. Well, it's pub elo.
Yeah. I don't
What
know.
is he doing to get that level of elo? Because his accuracy is 22% on Marines.
Gorge
Not
man.
to say that accuracy is super important, but you should have higher than that. If you're that high elo.
Yeah, so that'll wrap it up for right now. We have another game in about 40 minutes, so stay tuned and come back at that point. All the wrinkles have been ironed out of the system. Um, I had an issue with my previous headset where it was sort of not able to, consistently give a good sound. There was some breaking up in the microphone, so I had to recently, just the day before this tournament, bought a new system. So again, sorry that this wasn't totally fixed. It was fine yesterday, so I was unexpected. It was unexpected there would be an issue today. But blah blah blah. It was fun to watch those games, and we're ready to get into the next one. The next round will be, drumroll please. Let's see, in my match scheduling panel, the next upcoming round will be Team 3 v Team 6, and that'll be in just about 40 minutes. See you guys then.
All right, GG, see it.
Hey Renee, just wanted to check in. Sarah left early this morning before I got up. Wanted to make sure she got home safely. What? What the hell?